E-R-E-N-D. The D is enough. Yeah, as you know, a D and a T are quite similar anyway. I mean, we're not pronouncing these sounds in French, are we? Because they're soft and hard, so we're in the soft stage. But a D and a T often get mixed up in language anyway. In a lot of languages, I've got to becomes I've gotta. I wanted. We kind of make it a bit of a DT sound anyway. So the fact is, if you have an entre verb and you're in the soft, you will not write a T after the D. You are fine with E and D. Good. Next one, on the topic of E, like D and fini. And let me tell you, this is absolutely categorically something that you see in French people when they make spelling mistakes all the time. The amount of emails I have from friends and what have you, where either a typo or they just genuinely don't know. Not the vast majority, I have to stress. But you will see this because obviously French is a phonetic language, which is the system we're using. So there are times when you don't know what the ending will be in the past. Now we've talked about the present, so je finis, je dis, we've talked about how you need an S and a T. But if you've got an E ending in the past, there's a couple of variations. Let's have a look. Firstly, if your verb is an ir verb, and you've gone into the past, then there will be nothing else. So there will be j'ai fini, F-I-N-I. There will be nothing after that, okay? Unless we have a preceding direct object, which I will talk about in a minute. So I've gone out. Yes, it's an être verb. Je suis sorti. You might well have an E or an S if it's a feminine or a plural person doing that. More on that later. Yeah, so for example, I went out as a woman, je suis sorti, there would be an E. We went out, nous sommes sortis, there might be an S because there will be an S because we're plural. But the fact is, because there's an être verb in the middle, when you use the être verbs of motion, you have to agree with the E and the S on the end. But the fact is, the basic spelling of the verb is still S-O-R-T-I. Yeah. Venir becomes venu, so that's different. Anything else that's E, that's from an IR verb, will be E, just the letter I. Okay? Now, verbs that weren't ir verbs, i.e. IR, but that go to E in the past, we've got different spellings, haven't we? So, j'ai dit, D-I-T. Again, you could say it matches the third person. Okay? If your present tense third person, the he, she, it, is an E, then often the third person will be spelt the same in the past. But often the past will be the same. So je produis, I produce, I have produced, j'ai produit, same spelling, D-U-I-T, T-T. If we've got one that's an E in the past which wasn't an E in the present, so for example prendre, j'ai pris, all of those are going to be P-R-I-S. Okay, so basically the annoying thing in French is you've got j'ai fini, j'ai dit, j'ai pris, and they've all got different spellings. F-I-N-I, P-R-I-S-D-I-T. So the main ones will crop up, but let me teach you a little trick that we use in French to work out which one is which. We include a preceding direct object, and I will talk about that one in a moment. That basically means when you've got a feminine object before you get to the third word in your verb. So we've done this before in the videos. I think it was a lovely, was it Claire from Australia who emailed about this, who messaged about that this week. I apologise if I've got the wrong person. But the fact is, so if you said, for example, let's do this one now then. So if you said the tarte I made, la tarte que j'ai faite, you've got to add an E, like it were an adjective, on the end of your third word, on the end of your 1, 2, 3, your past participle, le participe passé. So it's like, by the time you get to the third word in a past, or any tense that's got the auxiliary, so j'ai fait, j'aurais fait, j'avais fait, j'aurais fait, I would have done. If it's got the three bits with the have or, the have in the middle, if your thing that you're dealing with, so I made this, I made whatever, if that actually just comes in the sentence before, by the time you say that third word, it's got to work like an adjective. Now that's not that crazy. How would you say the White House? La maison blanche, because you knew that the house was feminine. If you said the window was open, la fenêtre était ouverte, you would add an E onto what ostensibly is a verb. Yeah, ouvert comes from open. but you've made it ouverte. You've made it an adjective. So it's the same in French. So for example, if I said I chose, j'ai choisi, I chose it, and it was a feminine thing, je l'ai choisi, choisi. Yeah, you'd have an E because a feminine thing had come before. Now, most of the past words, as you know, end in an U, an E, or an A vowel. So you can't hear if you've got an extra E on the end. We do the same thing with an S. I made them, if we were talking about something masculine and plural. What you made, so I have made them, je les ai fait, the thing came before. It doesn't matter if you didn't say what it was out loud, if you said the, I made them, je les ai fait. It's come before your third word. So je les ai fait, plural thing, would be F-A-I-T-S. Anything else is bad French. This is not an option, this is the only thing. So I made them, je les ai fait. Now, when you get a verb which ends in a consonant then, in the past, and you're adding an E, as those of you that follow the videos know, when you add an E to a consonant in French, you're going to hear it. So I did it if it were a feminine thing, je l'ai faite. I said it if it were a feminine thing, you said je l'ai dit. I took it if it were a feminine thing, je l'ai prise. So when you speak more French and you get used to doing these, you instinctively know how to pop a feminine in. You know, I saw it, je l'ai vu, won't change because it's V-U-E. I made it, je l'ai faite. Ah, you'll hear that T there, so it will remind you how to spell F-A-I-T. I took it, just say to yourself, I took it, je l'ai prise. Oh, so it reminds you when you go to write pris, P-R-I-S, it reminds you the presence of the S. Okay, so that's a nice little trick for finding those ones. Alternatively, you could just be boring and learn that D-I-T, P-R-I-S, okay? So, tricks we've had, if there's a third person with the T in it, in the present tense, it will be T in the past. If it comes from something else, it will be different, okay? Or if it's ir in the verb, it will be just the I, okay? Right, next one, number 8, u versus ou. This is just a question of pronunciation. Learn to pronounce your words as you're going along, your spelling will be better. Learn that an A is in the verb, so don't say regarder, just say regarder. Oh, re, below the line, I know there's no E. Cinéma, I'm going above, cinéma, I know there's an accent. Secrétaire, secrétaire, I know there's an accent, okay? So this is the way to go along. So if you just walk through life going to, you know, vous avez-vous, then you're not going to spell. If you know vous avez vu, you know the first one is an OU, monkey mouth, ou, and the second one is a top lip U. So rather than getting your spelling, your pronunciation from your spelling, although you do obviously do that the first time you encounter a word, when you go to write, find your spelling from your pronunciation. So say the word to hire, louer, oh, O-U, pousser, to push, not pousser, because pousser in English you'll be like, oh, P-U, P-O-U. So find the one you're on about, okay? Next one. Very quick one, but very, very annoying, and is really, really a surefire way of annoying an examiner. Two verbs often have an S in whatever form they're in. We've talked about EUX, or we've talked about, you know, different bits and pieces, but the fact is, in a verb, so let's use the term I despise, ER. Why do I despise it? Because we're using English to think about it. So tu manges, tu danses, tu whatever, it will have an S on the end. Yeah, people always write M-A-N-G-E, yeah, or D-A-N-S-E. No, that's the I form. So in your soft verbs, the je and the tu resemble each other, don't they? Je sors, tu sors, S-O-R-S, S-O-R-S. Je prends, tu prends, P-R-E-N-D-S, P-R-E-N-D-S. So that's the type where you see the je and the tu looking like each other. In your a verbs, and what system do we use for a verbs when we're speaking? We use core. Je mange, tu manges, il mange. So in your mind, they should sound all the same. They should sound the same. You're not making a mistake. They should sound the same. You're not thinking of the S when you're speaking. But when you go to write, there's a tu and an S on the end. Now I'll give you a little tip for remembering. How do you say you are, tu es, which is spelt E-S? Remember the S. How do you say you have, tu as, which is spelt, as opposed to he has, which is just the A-S, which reminds you the S. So je danse, tu manges, tu danses, tu pousses, tu touches, tu parles, they're all going to have an S on the end, okay? Can I stress that massively? And again, you'll have tu as, a S. You are, tu es. Yeah, we know there are other have words and other be verbs that, you know, with the he is, il est. Yeah, it's just est, obviously. He has, il a, just the A. Do not confuse them. I want the S on the U, okay? Good. Next one. So that was number 9. Number 10. Yes, this is just a lazy thing with apostrophes. People just forget that the apostrophe goes where we've taken out a letter. So, for example, I live, the verb is habiter. So we're not saying je habite, we're saying j'habite. So we have J apostrophe H-A-B-I-T-E. It doesn't become one word, it's pronounced like one word, and if you're thinking of it as one word, well done, because it means pronunciation-wise, you've got it right, but it needs the apostrophe. So, for example, the one that I dislike the most is he saw me, il m'a vu, il m'a vu. By the way, if that was the feminine me, if I were a woman, it would have an E on the end, because the me came before the third word. So, il m'a vu, M apostrophe, because you've taken me, M-E, yes, something happening to me in a sentence, and the A, il m'a vu, apostrophe. Same as he saw you, il t'a vu, T apostrophe, yeah? As opposed to ma and ta without an apostrophe, which means my feminine thing and your feminine thing. So that is really bad if we don't get that one down, okay? So please do try and pay attention with that one. Good. Next one. This is really important spelling, and this is just standard in French. Basically, an I and an E are stronger in French than an O, a U and an A. Let's look at the examples. Let's say that again, get that in your mouth. An I and an E, yeah? The higher vowels, if you want to think about it, they make sharper sound, are stronger in French than an O, a U and an A. Let's look how this manifests, how this presents itself. So this mainly kicks into action with a G and a C. So, for example, let's start with C. If you have an E after the C, it's soft and it's fine and it's everything we know. Commence, yeah, tu commences, no problem, okay? We were starting, nous commencions, no problem, C-I-O-N-S, perfect, fine, no problem, okay? But what happens when we add a C and an O, a C and a U, or a C and an A? Let's look in other examples in French. So, for example, j'ai reçu, I have received, we need that cedilla, don't we, on the C? We need that cedilla on the C. Otherwise, it would be j'ai reçu. What is I have lived from the verb vivre? J'ai vécu. There's a hard C there, okay? So we need a cedilla every time we have a C and a U, yeah? If we want the U to sound soft. If we want, and the same with a C and an A, if we want the C to sound soft, and the same with a, what else am I doing? A C and an O, okay? Le garçon, how do you spell garçon like boy? G-A-R-C with a cedilla, O-N, otherwise it would be garçon. Okay, so U and an A and an O. If we want the soft C, we need a little slip. How do you spell say, as in it is? C apostrophe E-S-T, no problem. Ce sont, C-E-S-O-N-T. Cela, C-E-L-A, no problem, no problem, no problem. Ça devient, that becomes, or ça, you know, ça, I want that, je veux ça. It will be C with the cedilla and the A, because it's not an I or an E. So, ça se passe, that's happening, C with the cedilla, A, se passe, etc. Okay, that's really important. So verbs where you have an A, think about it, your endings for was. Je commençais, tu commençais, il commençait. We've got C-O-M-M-E-N-C cedilla, A-I-S. C cedilla, A-I-S, C cedilla, A-I-T. Yeah, we don't think about it, but there's an A there. Next one. With a G, we have a similar thing. If a G doesn't have an E or an I, for example, it will be hard. So for example, how would I say